This is the opening for our new exhibition, Laura Knight at the Nuremberg trials. And Laura Knight was a very distinguished British artist who was at the height of her career when she was commissioned to go and cover the major trial, the trial of the Nazi war criminals in Nuremberg. She was a dame by this time. She'd been made a dame in the 1930s. She was also the only woman to have been made a full member of the Royal Academy since its founding. When she arrived in Nuremberg, she was surprised that the hotel she was taken to was quite plush. It was the only really surviving hotel, and she was astonished to find that Hitler and his retinue had stayed there before her. And she did wonder when she laid down at night whether she was laying her head on the same pillow as Hitler, which obviously was incredibly disconcerting. So another page which you see here, which has obviously been increased in size, is her sketch of Goering, who was the most sort of notorious of the Nazi war criminals and also the most distinctive in his looks. So in her letters home to her husband Harold, she described this sort of bull-like head and the thick neck and the mouth that stretched right across the entire face. And we're fortunate also to have a number of photographs and facsimiles of photographs, including this one where we actually see her at work and we can see there her meticulous style. The main thing that we're really showing and then using those to unpack the story around her commission and around what happened at Nuremberg war trials are these two large-scale drawings here. We believe there is a third one as well, but these two both directly relate to what happens in the final picture. And in this one again we have Goering, who's very distinctive with the headphones on. We have Hess with the bald patch there. We have Ribbentrop with the glasses and Keitel nearer the beginning. But some of them she described as less remarkable than the others, and she would occasionally forget to sketch someone who didn't seem to her so remarkable. So together these two drawings, and we see sort of further lines of the defendants here, give us all the background to the final painting. So the photograph at the end, we see Dame Laura at an exhibition many years later in which she showed the painting and the two drawings together. In the final painting, she would bring all the elements together that she had explored in the sketches, and we see again the rows of the prisoners, we see the lawyers in front in their black robes, and we see the line of snowdrops at the back and to the side. But what she did that was completely unexpected to her viewers was she sort of dissolved the final wall of the courtroom at the back, and she showed the city of Nuremberg as though it were on fire. She wanted to show the destruction of the war, both in that city as she experienced it, and as a kind of symbol for the destruction of war itself and the destruction caused by these men in the dock. I think it's an incredible achievement, particularly because, as I said earlier, people expected her to be incredibly factually accurate and meticulous in her realism, and although she was that in the majority of the picture, it was really important to her to have the imaginative element in the background, and that wasn't immediately particularly well received by people who weren't expecting that. But over time, I think people have really come to recognise that it was important that she included that artistic component. That was something that came out of her, and where she felt she brought together all the elements of what was happening, all the drama of the courtroom, all the uproar of the war. And really, I think it's the crowning achievement of her career.